When I was a kid, I witnessed the impossible. It killed my mom. Now, I am the impossible. I am the Flash. Yeah, so we're talking about the Flash. And I had to do that stupid intro because it's part of the show's intro. Yes, and this is part of Barry Allen's origin stories. Yes, Barry Allen's mom was killed when he was a child. And yeah, the show stays pretty faithful. There was this big flash of electricity and stuff in his house, you know, when he was a kid, and his mom died. I can't quite remember how everything worked with that, because I think they like retconned it a couple times, and like the last retconning of it was what led up to Flashpoint, and like the last retcon of the whole lightning in his house, you know, the figure standing in the lightning strike thing, and the night his mom died, was actually him in the Flashpoint series, which was the comic book story arc that led to the creation of the New 52 that combined Wildstorm, Vertigo, and DC's main universe. And I could go on forever about the New 52 because basically the only reason they merged the Wildstorm and Vertigo universes is because they merged the Vertigo universe with it because they wanted Swamp Thing back in the main DCU, and they wanted the Wildstorm universe merged with DCU because because Wildstorm was failing and they wanted to keep Jim Lee around, so they said, alright Jim, we're going to take your Wildstorm characters and we're going to throw them into the main DCU, this way they can fight alongside our characters. But that's besides the point. So, the Flash TV show. Once again, I'm really liking this show. If you see my review of Gotham, then I have pretty much a similar opinion. It's a good show. It has its flaws. I like the new Flash TV show. I like that they pay tribute to the early 90s Flash TV show. Because that was a great show. Don't let anybody fool you. Like, if you hear people talking and saying, oh yeah, it was hokey and it was corny and it looked like crap, it's 90s and it's meh. No, the 90s Flash TV show was great. It had some great moments to it. You know, it had wonderful characters. It paid tribute to the comics. It had the comic book villains that had Flash's Rogues Gallery looking like the Flash's Rogues Gallery. Like, literally, Captain Cold looked like Captain Cold right out of the comics. The Trickster in that series was played by Mark Hamill, and this was before he played the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. And Mark Hamill looks like the Trickster right out of the Flash comics. And I thought it was really interesting. They paid tribute to it in a number of little ways, but the biggest is that the actor who played the Flash in the 90s TV show plays Barry Allen's father in this TV show, who is in prison for killing his wife, which he didn't do. And that's like one of the big subplots of the series, the one that they bring up at the beginning of every damn episode. Literally, every episode starts off with, when I was a kid, I witnessed the impossible on the night my mom died. Now I've become the impossible. And it's just like, really, we get it already. We understand. Your mommy died when you were a kid. This is rather unhealthy, Barry, that you keep obsessing about her murder like this. I know you want to get your father out of prison, but like, literally every episode, I think like one episode does not bring up his, of every episode that's aired so far, I think only like one episode has not brought up something about them reinvestigating the case where his mom was murdered. Because if Barry isn't talking about it and isn't looking up stuff about, and isn't investigating the evidence from that crime, it's his friend, the cop, who's doing it. Because he has this cop friend who acts as a sort of stepfather. I don't quite get that connection, but he has this sort of this detective whom he works with, and I think, like I said, he's a surrogate father figure. He kind of acts as a stepfather. I'm guessing he took care of him while Barry's father was in prison, but he trusts him with his identity as the Flash. So he's like, him and all the people at Star Labs are the only people that know who the Flash, that Barry Allen is the Flash. Oh, and the villains. The villains know, but you know, they're the villains. That being said, this series is pretty fun. I like that they're using the Flash's rogues gallery, and they're using them effectively. Episode 1 teased Gorilla Grodd. Actually, a couple of episodes now have teased Gorilla Grodd that he might be coming into the picture. Like, I honestly see Gorilla Grodd being the season 1 finale. Like, this was originally pitched. CW originally pitched The Flash as a half season, and the ratings were so good they approved it for a full season. So, like, they're gonna be hitting the brakes here pretty soon with The Flash, so that way they can finish filming the rest of season 1, and then I feel like they're gonna go into major production on season 2. Because I feel this show is going to get a season 2, hands down. Like I said, they have the Rogues Gallery. They're introducing, they're introducing the Flash's Rogues Gallery. Like, we did get, I think the character was meant to be the Weather Wizard, but he was killed in the same episode he was in. Another character we got was the Mist. He wasn't killed. He was put in the special metahuman jail. Okay, let me back up and start from the beginning. Okay. Series starts. They have this giant, like, energy collider thing at Star Labs. They're going to turn it on and test it. A problem occurs. The collider blows up, gives a bunch of people metahuman abilities. Barry Allen being one of them. Barry Allen is in a coma for 9 months. When he wakes up, he discovers he has super speed. Okay? Star Labs gets a hold of him, tells him, we want to help you. We want to try and cure you of this. We want to make sure, we want to test you, make sure that you running at super speed doesn't, like, make your heart explode. We want to make sure everything's fine with you. That's fine. Well, then they discover that the big energy collider thing explosion created a bunch of other super people. It created a bunch of superpowered people. And for the most part, most of them have been criminals. So they created a bunch of superheroes. They created a bunch of supervillains. They call them metahumans, which is in continuity, because metahumans are a big part of the DC universe. Like, literally. You see, the Marvel got Marvel got the copyrights on the term mutants for, like, the X-Men, and basically the X-Men mutants were created, literally Stan Lee said mutants were created in the Marvel universe because Stan Lee was tired of coming up with origin stories. Just said, oh, they have this gene in them that gives them superpowers, and it's always random. This way I don't have to come up with an origin story for each individual character. And DC Universe did the same thing. They were tired of writing origin stories for every single hero and villain, so they came up with the term of metahumans. They came up with, basically, depending on which continuity you have, it's either an energy collider or it's a giant chemical gas explosion that creates metahumans. And once again, it's just, they get random superpowers. And so that's what the series does. It's very basic monster of the week, aka villain of the week. And a lot of people have said, well, how are they going to keep up the production budget on this? And I have to point out, Smallville did it. Smallville did it for 10 years. They kept up the budget with these big supervillains and shit. So did series like The X-Files. There's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's tons of shows out there with the budget to do, the imaginative, the unthinkable, the things that you can't do in real life, the superpowers, the supernatural. So it doesn't bother me. So like they've introduced characters like the first villain I think was supposed to be the Weather Wizard, but he died. So I'm not sure if he's the Weather Wizard or not. I'm not sure if he's dead for good or if he'll like come back. But anyway, as the series goes on, they discover that like the big energy collider thing works great as a supervillain jail. So that's where they're storing all the supervillains. Instead of killing them, they're going to capture, the Flash is going to capture them and stick them in there. And so that's what the series is about. Is basically they've captured the Mist down there. Really good, cool thing. They got Captain Cold in here, and Captain Cold gets away. They basically point out how they make Captain Cold be a badass, and he really is. And he isn't a metahuman. He just gets his hands on some Star Lab tech that can freeze anything, and basically he gets a giant freeze gun, which is the basic story of Captain Cold. He gets a freeze gun, and he looks like a modern version of Captain Cold. He doesn't have the goofy, it's a more realistic take on Captain Cold, but you can still enjoy it. Like he doesn't have like he doesn't have like the goofy blue and white parka. Excuse me. So yeah, Captain Cold doesn't have like the goofy blue and white parka, but he's still got the glasses, he's still got the freeze gun, he's still got a bald head. So, that's really saying something. It gives him, and he is wearing a parka, but it's a more subdued, it's a more realistic parka that he wears. So that is kind of nice. It is giving us that realism, but at the same time giving us the fantastic that I really enjoy. So anyway, Star Labs is full of a bunch of scientists. All of their acting is alright. They're a good supporting cast. They all have turned in really good performances. The actor they got to play Barry Allen, though, he's growing on me, but I don't think he's the best. I think that there could have been a better actor to play the role of the Flash, because the actor who plays him, some of his dialogue, it seems kind of stiff, and you can tell. I think that you can tell. It's just, this is my opinion, but in my opinion, it looks like he does not like wearing the suit. And this is where I have to say, you signed up, you got hired to be the main character in a superhero movie. You knew you were going to be wearing a superhero costume. Yet, like I said, it looks like he doesn't like to wear the suit, because most of the show, he's not wearing the suit. He barely wears the suit in the show. He'll wear it for the big fight scenes, for the big drama fight scenes, the big superhero scenes. Which, once again, because he's the Flash, he's going around really quick, so you don't see him in the suit that often. And on top of that, a lot of scenes show him pulling his mask off. He barely ever keeps his mask on, even when he's in the suit, which is, that's superhero 101. You don't reveal to everybody what your damn secret identity is. Yet this actor, like I said, half the scenes he's in the suit, it's he's whipping that mask off of that suit, and it's just he doesn't like, you can tell this actor does not like to wear the suit, and it's I don't know if it's a comfort thing or if he just feels silly in the suit. But whatever it is, you should find an actor who's willing to be in that suit more often. Hell, look at the Swamp Thing TV series from the 90s. The actor who played Swamp Thing in the TV series was also the stunt actor for Swamp Thing in both Swamp Thing movies. He had to sit in a chair for the two... I believe I read an interview. In the first Swamp Thing movie, the stunt actor who played Swamp Thing had to sit in a chair for 8 hours while they put that Swamp Thing suit on him. For the second movie, they got it down to 6 hours. For the TV series, they managed to get that suit on him in under 3, and he had to stay in that suit for the entire shooting schedule, and he did not mind that. He was perfectly happy to be Swamp Thing for that series. And that's my main point. If you want to play a superhero, that's fine. If you want this role, you have to be dedicated to it. You cannot be that arrogant of an actor to say, I don't want to be in the suit. Because guess what? Fans are going to get angry at you because of it. Case in point, Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd. Stallone and the producers did not want his face hidden throughout the entire movie of Judge Dredd. So that's why you only got to see him in 2 scenes with his helmet on. Stallone was was in the Judge Dredd costume for 2 scenes. The beginning and like in the middle of the movie, he had the full Judge Dredd suit and helmet on. The rest of the movie, he is either in plain clothes or he's in the Judge Dredd suit without the helmet. And that's the thing. Judge Dredd does not remove his damn helmet. So that does bother me. That is one of the little things that bothers me is, you know, the actor playing Barry Allen. But he does an okay performance, and I can forgive him for that. Overall, once again, I think this is a series worth watching. Till next time, guys.